Alright, you guys, so today we're going to be starting our next unit. I'm sorry if you can hear other teachers teaching in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. Sounds like we're all kind of doing our videos at once today. So today we are going to be talking about how to create your own value scale, okay? And what a value scale is it shows shade ranges from the lightest to the darkest. So it basically is going to show all the different shades you can make with your pencil. And we're going to try to make 5 shades today with our pencil, all right? So a value scale shows the shade ranges from the lightest to the darkest. So if we have a quiz or anything, there is your answer right there, all right? So value scale, it's going to show that range of values, all right? And another little quick review, what is value? We're still talking about the element of art that we just learned. So value is an element of art. I should write that out here. There it is, element of art, all right? Remember there are 7 elements of art, and value is one of them, all right? And value is the range of light and dark in an artwork, okay? So when you look at an artwork and it has light and dark in it, light and dark shades, that's value, okay? And I included on this page right here, another really good word for value is shading. Sometimes the word shading kind of sticks in everybody's mind a little bit better, so I try to include that. Value is basically the same idea as learning how to shade, all right? You're wanting to learn how to shade, how to include more shades in your drawing, all right? So what we're gonna need today is, you're gonna need a piece of paper, a piece of paper. If you don't have blank paper like this, you can completely use lined paper, y'all. I saw some great, beautiful projects for the element of art drawing that were made on lined paper, and they looked absolutely great. So if you only have lined paper, don't get freaked out. You can use lined paper too. So you need a piece of paper, a pencil, and a ruler, okay? If you do not have a ruler, you have a couple options. First being, if you have a tape measure, you can use that. I know there are some apps on your phone. I'm using my phone right now to film, so I can't really show you, but there are a lot of ruler apps on your phone. If none of those are an option for you, you do not have to use a ruler, okay? I just like to do this part with a ruler just to kind of give everybody a little refresher on using one, and I think it makes your value scale look a little bit more professional, a little bit more cleaned up. But if you don't have a ruler or a tape measure, or you don't have a phone to get the ruler app, it's okay. And you'll see why here in a little bit. It's not gonna be that bad if you don't have a ruler. But we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So if you do have a ruler, I need you to go ahead and take your ruler, and you're gonna make sure it's on inches, okay? Not centimeters. So if you look at my ruler right here, hopefully that shows up okay. I think I can zoom. Oh, I can zoom, okay. So here is inches. You can tell because they're farther apart, okay? So the side with the numbers farther apart is inches. The side with the lines closer together is centimeters, all right? I always have somebody do the wrong side. So you're gonna want to make sure y'all, if you have a ruler, look, use inches, not centimeters. Inches are the longer side, okay? I just like to make sure everybody knows that. That's just a good thing to learn in general. But I still have some confusion about that sometimes, I feel like, when we do this unit. So you're gonna take your ruler, again, inches, and just kind of put it somewhere in the middle of your paper. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle. If you feel like it's a little bit off to the side over here, that's okay. You just don't want it like this. You don't want it touching the side of your paper anywhere. You don't want it up here or over here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start your pencil at 0, and you are gonna draw a straight line from 0 to 5. So there you have it. A line from 0 to 5. And then you're gonna turn your ruler on its side like this, and you are going to make, let me see if I can move this up a little bit. Yep. You're gonna make the sides 1.5 inches. we're gonna make a rectangle. So start at 0, draw down to 1.5 inches. If you don't know where 1.5 inches is, look at your number 1 and your number 2. It's that longer line in between the two of them, okay? It's slightly longer than the other tick marks. It's directly in between. That's 1.5 inches. And I'm gonna make one on the other side as well. If you can't see that, let me bring it down for you a little bit over here. There you go. That's what your paper should look like, okay? And then what you're gonna do, you're going to connect them right here at the bottom. So we have a rectangle. Again, y'all, if you don't have a ruler, what you can do for this step is just kind of look at my paper, and I would just kind of guesstimate. If you have another piece of paper, put it up against this part of your paper, kind of like put it right here, and use that to draw a straight line. There's tons of stuff to help you draw a straight line. Get a folder or something like that, trace up against it, and that'll make sure that your line is straight, okay? So if you don't have a ruler, just kind of freehand that part. Even you can tell, it's okay if your boxes aren't perfect, or if your rectangle isn't perfect. If you can look at mine, mine's a little slanted over here. It's okay. It won't really matter. So what we're gonna do next is you're gonna take your ruler and just push it up against the bottom of it. So you're gonna put your 0 right here and your 5 right here, if you can see that. So my 0 tick is right here and my 5 tick is right here. And I'm just gonna write the measurements on here. For you, if you're a little behind and you're wanting to follow along. So this line's 5 inches, 5 inches, 1.5 inches over here and over here. Okay? So now what you're gonna do, you're going to make a little tick mark at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and 4 inch, okay? If you didn't see that, I just put my ruler up against the bottom of this rectangle and made a little bitty tick mark at 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm gonna move my ruler up. Make sure you don't flip it like this. A lot of people do that on accident. They'll kind of flip it where it's upside down. Don't do that. Then your tick marks will be messed up. So you're gonna put these down here at the bottom first, then move it on up. If you didn't see that, I'm just gonna slide my ruler up and make tick marks at the top at 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? So that's where you're at now. You got a rectangle and 4 tick marks on the top and the bottom. Now you're just gonna connect those lines. If you didn't know what the tick marks are for, that's just a really good method to draw a straight line. So if you wanna draw a straight line, just make sure you measure the same distance on both sides of this rectangle, and when you connect them, you'll know your lines are straight. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So 5 boxes with a tick mark at 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and 4 inch. Again, if you didn't have a ruler for any of this or couldn't find a ruler app, it's totally fine, y'all. It is not a big deal. I'm gonna move y'all up. There we go. Now we're all zoomed in. So you can just freehand this if you want to. That's fine with me. This upcoming part is really the part I'm gonna be looking at and be grading, okay? That last part is just to make sure you have a nice, neat place to start. So what you're gonna do is you are going to start at this box right here. And you are gonna pick a direction to color, and you are going to make this first box as dark as you possibly can, okay? You're gonna make it super, super, super dark. I'm gonna bear down as hard as I can with my pencil. Okay? Now, this video might get a little boring if it's just me coloring the whole time, so I'm not gonna color in my whole box here. But when you're doing it, you're gonna color in that whole box, and make sure you color in as dark as you possibly can. Okay? Then when you get to the next box, you're gonna fill this whole box in, except this time you're still gonna bear down pretty hard with your pencil, but not quite as hard. You want it a little bit lighter than this one. Your middle one, a little bit lighter. So this time I'm kind of bearing down halfway, not super hard, but not super light. This next one, I'm gonna bear down a little softer. If you see that, I'm using more of the side of my pencil now, so it's not quite as dark. And then on this one, I'm barely gonna touch my pencil to the box. Barely. I want it to be super, super light, okay? If you see that, super light. So basically your goal when making a value scale is you want your boxes to gradually change from the darkest you can possibly make your pencil to the lightest you can possibly make your pencil. So I'm just gonna fill this whole box in just to show you guys. You'll want your whole boxes filled in. Don't make it look like this. You want the whole box filled in, and you're not gonna get full credit. There are some great examples online. If you just wanna Google the word value scale, tons will come up. So I filled in this whole box for you here. Usually, and if you were actually here with me in my class, I would give you a blending stump, okay? This is what a blending stump looks like. It's basically just a rolled up piece of paper. But what you can do with it is you can kind of come in here and smudge your pencil all in. It kind of squishes all that graphite together. I am sad that you can't use a blending stump on this. If you have one at home, by all means, you can use it on your value scale. If you do not have a blending stump though, and you would like to kind of smush your graphite together, like I just did in this box, you can get a Q-tip. I don't know if you have Q-tips at home, but most people do. A Q-tip or a cotton swab, and you can kind of go over your boxes with the Q-tip or cotton swab. You can also use a tissue. You can also kind of roll up a tissue and use that as well to kind of smush your graphite together. Now, I did make a note here. Please, let me zoom you back out. Please, I do not want you guys to get into the habit of doing this. I do not let people blend with their finger in my class, okay? Try not to blend with your finger. I know it's popular because you get nice smooth shading that way, but the oils in your finger actually break down graphite, so it's not good for graphite to use your fingers. So in my class, I try to break everybody of the habit of shading with their fingers, okay? Try to use a blending stump or a cotton swab or a tissue, anything but your fingers. And then one very important thing I wanted to go over with you guys today. If you look at how I've been coloring these boxes, I've never changed the direction of my pencil, okay? So I kind of picked the direction I wanted to color, and I have just started shading in that direction. So here it is, y'all. When you get in my class, you'll hear me talk about this all the time because it drives me insane. But Miss Smith's biggest pet peeve, okay? Miss Smith's biggest pet peeve is, hold your horses. Here it is, coloring in different directions. Make sure you always color the same way, all right? So coloring in different directions, what does that mean? This is for every project in my class, you guys. This isn't just this project. Every single project we have in here, I'm probably gonna grade you on this. So I'm just gonna draw 2 boxes here at the bottom to show you what I'm talking about. All right, here's my 2 boxes. This is good coloring, and this is bad coloring, okay? Good coloring, you decide the direction you want to color, and you never stray from that direction. So look, I chose up. That means I've got to color up and down the whole time. Bad coloring looks like this. I kind of go this way for a little while. I've kind of got some gaps in my coloring, and then I'll just change directions like that. And then I kind of get tired of coloring this way, so I'll go this way. All right. You do not want to do that. Look how bad this one looks when you change directions versus the same direction, okay? We're working on craftsmanship, making sure our paper is as nice and neat as possible. So make sure when you pick a direction, you color in that exact same direction the whole time, okay? If you have any questions on this assignment, send me an email. I'm going to try to post a picture of a completed value scale in the folder today so you can see it. If you have any questions, again, send me an email. This one should be fairly easy, but I'm just going to be grading on your range of value. So if this box looks the same as this one down here, you did something wrong. You need your values to have more range. They do not need to be so similar. And I'm also going to be grading on your shading skills. So making sure you can pick one direction and color the whole time. A lot of people kind of complain that when it gets up here to the corners, you know, they might have to change it up a little bit. Just try your best not to. I just don't want it to get up here and you do this. That's not what I want. Do not do that. Color the same way, okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. I am here to help you, all right? Have fun doing your value scale.